All right, welcome to Osnaha's November education session. I'm Laurel Smith, and Osnaha Board Director, and I'm also the chair of the monthly education speaker series. Thank you for joining us today. And just a little bit of housekeeping, we're going to mute everyone so the speakers don't have any interruptions in their presentations. There will be Q&A at the end, and you are welcome to jot down any questions that you might have. And if you see a product that's being displayed on the screen or something, jot down what that might be in case you have questions. Also, you can put them in the chat so it's not disruptive as well. At the end of the presentations, we will unmute everyone and you will have an opportunity to then ask your questions. We are recording this session, so others can view it on our website after hours or whenever is convenient for them. So we're going to start today's session with a quick overview from our associate member, Matt Hecht, and he is director of the provider network with Paradigm Senior Services. Paradigm is based in Florida, and we're hoping to meet him at our 2023 conference. Matt, please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Laura. I didn't realize I was presenting first, so might be a good thing for everyone, might be a bad thing, caught me a bit off guard. So thank you for having me. I'm Matt. My title internally at Paradigm is Director of Provider Network. Externally would be more like Director of Marketing. It's just within the space we're in, within the VA space, it is our titles at Paradigm, we sort of mimic the VA, their titles that they have going on their end. So I'm going to talk for just briefly about Paradigm. I'm also going to talk before that about just the general state of the VA and the opportunity at hand. I'm going to share my screen quickly. I'm assuming it seems that I could see it. It seems that everyone could see it. If no one can see it, you could let me know. I already skipped the first page, which was just the cover page. I'm going to talk a little bit about the VA. So over the past few years, the VA or the VA Community Care Network has gone from being a somewhat neglected payer line to a really lucrative payer line. The rates have gone up across the country. The authorizations have been standardized. It's really become a lot more of a manageable program. For example, the rates in Arizona, the VA rates that they're paying for homemaker, HHA, and respite is $31 plus an hour. So the rates are really, really good in many cases. Also what has happened over the past few years, instead of being having to directly contract with your local VA medical center, the VA contracted a network of third-party administrators. So in Arizona, that third-party administrator is TriWest, and they operate on the two ends of the extreme. They are the gatekeeper, so they decide who's allowed into network, and they are the payer on the far other extreme. So they've alleviated a lot of the pressure that the local VA medical centers had on them. So getting into network has become a lot easier, especially going through Paradigm, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then on the other end of things, they are now the payer. So it's not the local VA medical centers or the local VA hubs who are arbitrating payments. It's being done by a third party. So the VA is able to solely focus on giving authorizations to veterans and being concerned about their care. Because of this, the network has become very desirable to become part of. Providers, many franchise networks in the past discourage their members or their franchisees from getting involved with the VA. Many state organizations have done the same because it's so painful. But now, once you're in network and you're working with the VA, it really becomes an opportunity. Typically, providers in Paradigm's network, who we've helped them get into TriWest and start billing the VA, are seeing somewhere between 12 to 20 hours a week being authorized. So it's not a massive amount of hours, but or volume, but the rates are quite good for the amount of hours. And the span of these authorizations is very long. You're looking at an authorization typically which lasts for a year. The typical lifespan of a VA client under the VA Community Care Network is about 2 years. So it's really become a great opportunity. where does Paradigm come into this picture? We help with wherever you're standing in dealing with the VA community care network, we could help you with. Sorry, let me scroll to the next page. So on the right at the beginning, if you're not yet contracted with the VA or with TriWest, Paradigm has a fantastic relationship with TriWest, where we've effectively become a channeler for credentialing applications. So we could actually send you the credentialing application. We then make sure everything looks okay before sending it off to TriWest, and then they send you a contract and get in, so you could get into network. In 2022, our average turnaround from beginning to end is under 2 months of an application to join the network, which is really unheard of. If you go directly through TriWest, it could take you a year plus if they even push you through the correct process. From there, we actually have an education piece where we teach you how to grow your VA census, how to market to veterans, how to talk to local VA medical centers, how to find caseworkers, social workers, PCPs, other referral sources at the local VA, and how to speak to them to start getting referrals. Once you start getting your referrals, we take the billing completely out of your hands, and our system has a 99.98% first pass success rate. So billing going out through our system gets paid first time around. So you send out billing within 2 weeks, you have been paid, unless you're in that really rare 0.002% of cases where there's a rejection the first time around, which our system really doesn't let happen because we have the series of validations and checks built in where we validate your billing data against the parameters of the authorization before sending it off to the VA. And all of this really works without you having to lift a finger. Whatever scheduling software you use, we just hop onto that. We pull out a report, we run it through our system, cross-compare the data, send it off to TriWest, track those payments, and when the payments come back, we could go into your system and post those payments there for you. If you're reconciling into QuickBooks or you have another way of reconciling payments, we could work with you on that to automate those processes as well. On the other end of things, if you have worked with the VA in the past and you struggle to collect any payments, we have a fantastic auditing department who we could usually go back up to 6 years. We determine what went wrong in terms of your VA billing, rebill, escalate until we could get as much of this money collected as possible. So really the entire spectrum of dealing with the VA. We also have notify you about rate changes, or if there's protocol changes or policy changes that affect the billing side of things, we make that for you. So if there's a policy or protocol change that affect how you conduct your business, we'll let you know about it. In terms of interacting with the VA, really taking as much of this interaction or the bureaucratic interaction that you would have with the VA or the third-party pays out of your hands, so you could solely focus on the marketing aspects and actually growing out this line of business. And we've had phenomenal success. I had a case actually in Phoenix, which just this year, a provider signed up with Paradigm. We got her credentialed with TriWest. This was last year, February. She is going to close out this year with over 75 VA referrals, which is just phenomenal. It is such a lucrative and really lucrative is the word, pay line, and a great way to give back. So if you are interested or you'd like to learn more, I just wanted to give you a very brief overview of Paradigm. My details are actually not on screen. It was supposed to be my colleague Max giving this presentation, but he was called out last minute. But you could definitely reach out to him. I'm also going to put a number of things in the chat. As soon as I'm done this, I will post. One, we have a very useful rate tool where you could just punch in your zip code and it shoots out what your local VA reimbursement rates are, which is really useful. You might be surprised by what you see. The second thing I'll do is I will share a booking link where you could book a time directly with our team, and they'll walk you through it. This was very, very high level. Don't want to spend too much time, but we could talk about your specific situation, where your local VA medical centers, what the process would look like for you in your specific situation. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's actually interesting, when Paradigm came onto the scene, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I'll just say this state association, because it's a tough one, was the first statewide association we actually ever signed up for. So it's exciting to be here. I think this is the first time I'm seeing some of you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I'll post those links in the chat, and I'll be on for another couple of moments. If anyone has questions, you can message me privately. I'll also put my direct email in the box in case you don't want to contact Max. You haven't verified if he's a trustworthy guy yet or not, so you can reach out to me as well. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Laurel. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Matt. We appreciate your time, and it's always great to learn more about our associate members. And we hope to see you at that at our annual conference next
Awesome, yeah.
August.
And we're I just looked it up before. We're currently working with 56 agencies in Arizona, which is pretty awesome.
That's very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this great information.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we are moving on to our featured speaker, Korry Johnston, president of Copper Star Home Medical Supplies. Korry's company brings over 25 years of experience in ensuring their customers feel that they are always taken care of, and the same way we would take care of our own family. He's also paired up with Jason Howell of Stander, which also is a provider of durable medical equipment. And they are going to enlighten us on new things in the industry to help our caregivers and to keep people safe. And he has a passion because no one wakes up in the morning wanting to visit a medical supply store. They come to Copper Star because they need help. So anyway, I really look forward to this presentation. Jason and Korry, it's all yours.
Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're excited to talk about this. Laurel and I spoke about this a few months ago, and we've been chatting about just how we can help all of the home care agencies and caregivers and everything like that know more about some of the products that are available. I get calls often from many people in this group as well as throughout the valley to go and meet with clients that they're working with. And definitely something I've noticed quite a bit is that even the caregivers and the home care companies, they really just don't know all of the products that are available to help them as caregivers as well as help the clients. So that's what we wanted to chat about today. So Stander, I'll kind of let Jason take over here for a bit, but Stander, they're a vendor that manufacturer that makes a lot of just extremely high quality, great product for these different types of situations. So I know Jason's got a slideshow and a few things, and then we're going to hop into the showroom and actually show some products as well. So we'll turn it over to Jason here to show his stuff.
Thanks, Korry and Laurel for having me here. I too have a passion for what I do. Let me open up my slideshow here and share my screen, and we'll kind of just jump in here. What I hope to be able to do today is to accomplish is to introduce myself, kind of a little bit about my background, where I've come from, my experience and history, but more importantly, the brand and the company which I represent, Stander, and how we started and how that translates into who we work with today. So I have just a few slides here, and I look forward to sharing this information with you guys to educate and share the knowledge and experience of the products and the product availability that is out there on the market. It's just a matter of knowing it. Like it was mentioned before, I've been with Stander now for a couple of years now, going on my 5th year. And before that, come from home health and hospice, dating back to 2010, delivering medical equipment and providing that service and value. There was a brief moment in my home health and hospice days where I was able to provide private duty respite care, and I enjoyed doing that. And now looking back to as I sit here in my seat, thinking about my time doing that, boy, I wish I would have seen a lot of these available today products to be able to provide a greater and safer service for the customer and the patient that we serviced. couple years ago, I did DME retail as well. So I've been in the position where I've helped educate customers and users who have never seen products that were available. And the number one thing I always got was, I wish I would have known about this product sooner, or my mom could have used this. So let's jump into who Stander is and why we are who we are. Stander's been around for over 20 years. And in the late 90s, featured here as Grandma Essie. Now, Grandma Essie, you know, as she approached her 90th birthday, health declining, it was time for Grandma to get maybe moved into a long-term care center. Believe it or not, Grandma didn't want that, as do most grandmas. They would like, and grandpas and elderly want to age in place. But Grandma's health, her independence just were limiting her ability to take care of herself. So our founders, Jan Miller and her husband, set off to the local DME store in the late 90s, which of course, back then it was all insurance provided, what's covered, it was basic, it was your Chrome, you know, kind of plain Jane things. There weren't much as far as options going for them to provide Grandma with the essential tools to safely age in place. Now, they did have the option to retrofit and renovate the home, but that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, in Grandma's home, in which she's lived for most of her life. And if she's 90, the likelihood of her living, you know, 10 more years is just not likely. So why would they want to put that much money into the home and then it be a different home for the next buyer or family member? So what they set out to do was to design some products that helped Grandma be confident in her mobility, maintain her independence, her privacy. And with that being said, Grandma lived for another 7 years, which is fantastic. So it's amazing, because just like Grandma lived that extra 7 years, I love the market that we get to service and provide every single day, because the market that we work with are these baby boomers, and according to the AARP's website, 10,000 individuals turn 65 every single day in the United States. What a huge opportunity to serve and to educate on what products are available. A huge demographic. Now, an interesting part with this also is that 80% of these folks carry the discretionary spending in the United States. So they're willing to pay for and provide medical equipment in their home, and not fully retrofit, but provide the basic and essentials and the new and stylish products that help them maintain their independence and safety. Again, these individuals who do have discretionary spending, they still want to live in their home. They want to age in place. That might be for various reasons: comfort, right? Their personal belongings. If you move from a 2,000 square foot home to a 800 square foot room or a 400 square foot room, where do all your belongings go? Obviously, privacy, the memories you have with that house, family, the Thanksgivings, the Christmases. There are many reasons why these individuals want to age in place. Now, safety doesn't just obviously have its importance in the home setting. Safety also has its importance for when you're out and about, when you're trying to go to the store or traveling. Now, with that 80% discretionary spending coming from these individuals, they are traveling. They are getting out more than they ever have before. They have the means financially, and also they have the means with the tools like rollators, compact walkers, assistive devices for automobiles. And we'll kind of get into some of those today too. But there are various reasons that individuals want to age in place, but their safety is not bound within the walls of their home. They do need that safety elsewhere. It's interesting to me, though, that you may not think this, and depending on who you've worked with in the past, or your residents, or people you've provided cares for, falls happen all the time. Just some statistics here I've pulled now from AARP's website and through the CDC. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is admitted to the emergency room. That is outstanding. I mean, that's just I can't even fathom the number of individuals who are being admitted from falls. And falls being both the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries in the United States. Now, just a quick, personal blurb here. Back in April, my mom called me. I was on the road traveling, and she said that my grandma's sister had passed away. She was in her late 80s, pretty good health, spunky and spry little gal. And unfortunately, she experienced a fall in her home, which broke her hip. As you can see here, greater than 95% of hip fractures are caused by falling. Now, it's unfortunate that that my mom's aunt had fallen and broken her hip. Now, what had actually was the cause of her death a week later wasn't even the fall or the breaking of the hip. It was that her body wasn't able to come through successfully out of the surgery. And what we find is that the first fall, because 1 out of 5 falls causes serious injury, it's likely that the individual who experienced a fall is back in the hospital within 6 months. Highly likely. So if we can mitigate these falls by providing the tools and resources to mitigate falls, the better we are. Now, again, having come from a home health and hospice and DME retail, I can tell you it's unfortunate that most individuals are reactive, right? Customer comes in or a family member talks to a caretaker and they say, hey, I need a bed rail for my mom. She fell out of bed. Or we need to get grab bars for the bathroom. There was a slip and a fall. There are for relatively inexpensive, you can get your house retrofitted. Again, instead of doing a full remodel, you can get the homes fitted and products provided that mitigate these falls before they happen. Again, the CDC recommends installing these grab bars, grab handles, things of that sort for transferring and safely getting up and down from sitting and laying down positions. So, which brings us to this exact point, where do the falls occur? More falls occur in the bathroom than anywhere else in the home. If you think about it, a fall occurs when we are transferring. So we're going from a sitting to a standing position, or standing to sitting, or laying to sitting up, or to standing. We've all seen it where the patient or resident or customer scoots up to the couch and then plops back, or plops into the rollator but forgets to lock the wheels. The falls occur in the bathroom. There's nothing soft in the bathroom that you want to fall on. Again, hence all the serious injuries, from the bathtub to the toilet to the sink, the vanity, the porcelain, and the tile. There's nothing soft in the bathroom. Falls also occur in the living room. The living room, because you've got rugs, blankets, carpets, power cords. You're standing up from a couch. Might be better fit for a lift chair if that's the case. Grab bars, tray tables. Again, also overreaching, reaching for the remote, the cell phone, the lamplight, a book. Overreaching causes us to topple and to tip over. The bedroom being another a place where I can think of my own home. Although it was only built 20 years ago, it's very tight. I don't have a lot of space in my bedroom. And again, there's power cords, there's rugs, clothes, there's clutter, and there's items that cause for tripping hazards. Of course, in the kitchen, navigating a wet surface, or again, reaching into the fridge, up into a high cabinet, or bending over to load and unload the dishwasher. In and out of the car, so safely getting in and out of the car. Next time you watch an individual park in a parking stall there up front at a restaurant, pay attention and notice how they get in and out of that car. It's usually a struggle, which tells me if they have a hard time getting in and out of their car, it's most likely that they have a hard time getting up and down from the toilet, or up and down from their couch, in and out of their bed. And of course, with the rollator on the far side there, getting out and about. Is the rollator the proper product for that customer? Is it lightweight? Is it transportable? Can they lift it without straining their back? Likewise for a caretaker. So the falls occur many places of the home, and not just in the home, but out and about. So here we've got a whole family of products, and this is probably my favorite part, is showing these unique solutions to everyday problems. And that's kind of always been Standard's little catchphrase or an attention grabber. They are unique solutions to everyday problems. So what we want to do real quick is actually just take the camera of ours and jump into the showroom and show a few of these products. And then we can come back in for a quick Q&A if there are any on the products. You can chat those in. Now, if there are any product specific questions like what's the weight capacity or the height adjustment, I recommend stopping into your local DME retailer. Like mentioned, Copper Star has all of these products in stock today. You don't have to order them and wait 4 or 5 days for the safety to be in the home then. Take advantage of that today and now. So let's jump into the conference room really quick, or into the showroom, and show some of these off. Some of our unique solutions. I'm going to start my camera here. Let me go turn that camera.
Yeah. All right, we're just getting set up. Sorry, just a second here. All right, can you guys see that, Laurel? I don't know if you're there. It looks like it's showing.
Got it. When I turned off the screen share.
Yes, that's a
What we've
great
got
view.
is a typical bathroom setting. We've got, of course, some mobility, some living room situations with the lift chairs, the tray tables, and of course, a bed to show off a couple of the bed rail products. Now, Standard has unique solutions, again, to everyday problems. So a couple I want to show you really quick is one of our top sellers for bath safety. Now, this is a unique product because it doesn't look and feel like what you might consider a grab bar. Now, while a wall mount grab bar is important, these grab bars can be tension mounted, floor to ceiling, up to 10 feet. So it can be mounted right by the couch. You're mounted right by the bed, in the garage, by stair lifts, or you can mount it right by the tub and toilet. And I love this feature because that's where those falls occur. When you're stepping up over that tub wall, or you're stepping in and out of that tub, standing up and down from the toilet, you get to easily grab this handle, stand up ladder-like, and then you can actually pull this pin, and it swivels and locks in place every 45 degrees. So you have an all-around grab bar that does not have to be drilled into the floor or ceiling. I can grab this right. There we go. So floor to ceiling grab bar, tension mounted anywhere in the home. Korry's a rookie on the camera, so I apologize about that. See my shoes? One of my favorite products. Now, the great part with this, again, lifetime guarantee. All the products we design, we want you to be safe and confident, and your customers and families. So we offer a lifetime guarantee. Now, when Grandma Essie was, again, looking for products, there just wasn't anything that kind of fit the bill of a quality, product that was going to offer them that assurance and solid product. So we offer our lifetime guarantee because our products have been built right just for that customer's safety. Now, of course, again, I always recommend a grab bar to accompany a shower bench. Now, again, what happens is caretaker might think, you know what, I'm going to get you a shower chair or shower bench so you can sit down and take a quick break in the restroom or in the shower, excuse me. But what happens is now that water is now spraying in the face. So customer or the family member in which you're providing cares for might be reaching for the water. They might be reaching to make an adjustment. Of course, you can get, there's a whole family of products in here. A shower head handle. Now, this isn't my product, but I love it because the shower head handle makes it easy to be able to provide the washing and cleaning you need to where you need to without reaching to turn the water on and off, higher, lower, hotter or colder. So you can do all right there from the, well, maybe the temperature you can't, right from that, you can adjust the flow right from the shower head handle. Now in the bathroom, again, especially getting up and down from that toilet. Now in my house, I have some toilets that are a little bit taller than others. The master has a tall toilet, but the main level or the basement has a lower toilet. Now I always recommend a raised toilet seat so that you can safely transfer on and off that toilet. You're not plopping onto the toilet nor trying to stand up too far. These toilets do lift up so they can be kind of used for just another individual who doesn't want to have that there to use it. These from Bemis are very nice and clean to use. They work with, of course, standard and elongated toilets. I heard the other day in a store that I visited, the lady came in, she wasn't real super educated on DME, and she said, our toilet was more round than it was oval, right? So she's explaining a standard toilet over an elongated. So
we got a quick question that came through. I think it was on the bar, the security pole. I think they asked if it will go on a vaulted ceiling.
Good question. This white one won't, but this one will. And this one is kind of our premium version here. It goes up to 12 feet if needed, angled ceilings, and it comes in bronze or graphite. So, that was the other thing too with Grandma Essie. While there were a few products available, I didn't want to turn, they didn't want Grandma's house to turn into an institutional looking house. Still wanted to maintain that independence and privacy without giving up the home feel. So this premium brand of ours called Signature Life, it does provide that kind of more of a home feel, the bronze, the graphites, the chrome, instead of the chrome, white, and black. But yes, good question on that. Up to 10 feet or 12 feet of the other version here. Now, getting up and down from the couch or the lift chair, so many customers or families that I provided cares for and have been in the homes, I see this all the time. They scoot to the front, customers scoot to the front, and then they do the 1, 2, 3 stand up. That's where that fall occurs. Standard makes this over here for a minute. Standard makes a nice, it's called a couch cane. This simple little handle provides a little handle for me to stand up. I can stand up safely and sit down, of course, with an organizer pouch for my belongings. And it just fits on the furniture. So whether they have a couch, you're providing cares for someone with a couch, a lift chair, recliner, this simple couch cane will work with any of those products. As you can see on this side over here, you can get a variation of that available with a tray. So if your customers or families you're providing care for have a lift chair, they're typically spending upwards of 14 hours a day in that lift chair. So let's start asking questions. Where are they eating? Where are they putting their food, their plates, their computers, laptops, their tablets? This tray table provides you that solution, and it does move out of the way. You can just swivel that tray out of the way, still utilize your lift chair, and you have, of course, the ability to then have that lift chair tray table to accompany the lift chair couch. The other thing I've got here is just a reacher. I've always been a big, I've always loved the reacher, and here's why. Something might have fallen, might be car keys, it might be a remote. Again, if I'm overreaching, overbending, I can just simply grab that, bring it to me, and pick it up so simply without overreaching. So there's different sizes of these reachers. This one's from Pick Sticks. Again, available here, fairly inexpensive, but a simple solution, and it's a simple product to mitigate those falls and those accidents. Now this one I've got here too. I love this for caretakers, nurses, CNAs, LPNs, and just caretakers alike. Now, when I was delivering DME and home health and hospice, hospital beds, Hoyer lifts, right? There's always hey, we got to transfer this patient. We got to transfer over the bed, get some sheets underneath them. And what I saw the most was I would see this. Well, Corey's going to show them here. imagine we had a patient or a customer right here in this couch or this chair. The number one thing I saw was this: a caretaker would bend over, would put arms under armpits, and would try to heave them up, possibly injuring both caretaker and patient, customer. That's not safe. The other thing I saw was you'd have a person with, skin tears and diminished strength, and they were weak. But I would see two arms under both sides, and they would 1, 2, 3 lift and stand, and hurt the armpits or the back or the hands of the individual. This little handy handle is a simple solution that fits in a car. It fits in a purse or a bag, or just off the side in the organizer pouch here, or in the side pouch of a lift chair. It's very simple because now it does require strength and some muscles on the patient or the individual. But by using simple leverage, you have an individual sitting here, and you have a caretaker standing on the other side here. And by simple leverage, I'm able to help the individual stand up. Now, again, it's not a you sit there and I pull all of it by myself. It's distributing the effort required by both individuals to safely stand up. I always recommend, getting to this position and then having somewhere to put your hand to hang on to finish the stand. So great, simple solution. The handy handles are in every single store. Comfort Star has them available, of course. Very inexpensive, but yet one of those wow products. Now, this is a handy handle. Now, when I first started doing DME, I had never seen this before. And of course, I thought, what in the world does that thing? Now, if a resident or a patient has a hard time getting up and down from the couch, again, what are they doing at the car? This is so simple to use. Most cars, other than your fancy F1 sports race cars, have a latch in the car door, where the door shuts and latches. This simple product rests in that latch and provides a handle for standing up. Now, I've seen individuals get out of the car and they get the feet out, and of course the door now is open this way. There's nowhere to put a hand here, so I've seen them reach up top this way and try to lift themselves out of the car, or they're hanging out of the door, which is swinging, possibly hitting the car next door, or closing and hitting legs. But to have a 350-pound weight capacity handle, fits in the purse, fits on either side of the car, it rests in there, and they have a handle to be able to push and stand up safely. One of my favorite ways to show this and to have this is to let somebody try it. Now, I worked with an organization back east. They brought in about, 300 to 400 of these for all of their caretakers to have in their bags, so that as they're taking out the residents to go shopping, to see the park or the zoo, they can safely transfer in and out of the car. In and out of the car means we're traveling. A lot of times rollators and mobility products are too heavy. As you can see, we've got Standard has designed and innovated this lightweight compact walker. Now, everybody has seen a 2-button walker, click, click. The nice part with this is that it's lightweight. It does support 400 pounds. You don't have to store it in the trunk because it's so big. You can put it right in the front seat by you. It weighs less than 8 pounds. And I love the fact that the wheels swivel. I mentioned earlier that one of the trip hazards or the fall hazards that occur in a home might be in the kitchen, bedroom sometimes, but more importantly, the bathroom, are rugs. Now, when a rug gets peeled up or a rug starts to bunch, we create entrapment. Or sorry, not entrapment, we create a trip hazard, excuse me. And what happens is on a 2-button walker, when we slide the wheels, if we catch a rug, the rug bunches up. But because these wheels can lock and unlock, I can swivel over those rugs with creating no fall or trip hazards. But I can also turn without hurting my back, especially if I just had surgery on my back or my knees. I can do it so easily. And it folds up and it self-stands. Now, a 2-button walker that might tip over, well, granted, this could too, I suppose. But how do I, as an individual, pick up my walker? I'm bending over now to pick it up. So to have a walker that can self-stand is just super ideal for your residents, for their safety, for your customers, for their safety, and your patients, so that they can safely use their products without feeling obligated to bend over, pick up a product that tipped. That's one of those, of course, comes in different colors. Nice blue, pink, and we've got 4 new colors that all the Copper Stars will have here next week. So 4 new colors. Of course, I mentioned the swivel seat. So this is a great product that goes along with that red handy bar. The swivel seat is a simple concept. Now, my favorite place to talk about this is anybody who had any sort of back injury, leg injury, or a strain. You put this on a couch, you put this particularly in your car, and you can swivel and get in and out of the car safely. I know one of my other customers in town has posted a video about it and has gotten a lot of views because it really showcases how simple it is. But it's one of those products where you say, I wish my customer, my patient had that years ago. It would have been so much easier to transfer in and out of the car. One of my favorites there. Now in home, let's pull this over here real quick. In home, one of the biggest complaints we get is, again, going back to mobility, is hey, my walker is too wide for my doorways. So what happens, so I can speak from experience, my uncle had a walker, a rollator with wheels, and it was a great rollator. Had a comfortable seat, had nice big wheels, had all the things that you might think you want in a product. But guess what happened to my uncle? He couldn't fit it into his closet. So what does he do? Well, he's got to get to the closet. So he leaves the device behind that he needs for safety, and he does one of these back to the end of the closet. Of course, my uncle fell, and he spent about I don't know, 4 to 6 hours on the floor, broke his hip. This is my dad's brother, and unfortunately, he ended up passing away last year, about 6 to 8 months after the fall occurred. So to be able to have a product or a mobility device in the home that I can simply navigate those tight doorways and spaces and transport my belongings is an ideal solution. Now you think about the families that you see, the homes you've been into, the caretaker scenarios. How are they going from A to B if they have a walker? Now, again, this is a fantastic walker, and we do provide a pouch. You could put a remote, but where do you put your laundry? Where do you put your plate of food? If you're providing cares for an individual who lives in a facility, where do they put their belongings? This simple solution can do that so easily. I can put my socks, my reachers, all my stuff. I can put on that tray my meals, my cup of coffee in the morning. I can go out and grab the mail if I need to. Very simple to use. I love this product because I can safely transfer my belongings. Now, the other thing that I love about this too, as I mentioned over here with the lift chair, I can now transport my cup of coffee, my plate of food over here to the living room, have a seat safely, and now I get to enjoy a tray table / mobility device all in one. Now, these are available. Again, we've got them here, lifetime guarantee. So your customers, the residents, the patients, the people that you work with have access to phenomenal products, not your cheap stuff that breaks in 3 years or 2 years. Lifetime guarantee with a 5-year warranty on brakes. So all the solutions for mobility in the home and for getting out of the home. Now, granted, there are other lightweight and compact designs out there. Nothing compares to what we've got here with the Fold and Go walker. And then the last place, I think, if I miss nothing, Korry, is the bedroom. Now, of course, we've got several beds here. That camera will keep up with me. We've got a couple of beds here, of course. Standard really we found our niche with the very first home style bed. Now, a bed rail for a home style bed. Now, you might have heard the word bed cane. You might have heard the word bed handle. This is the bed cane. This is one of our top sellers. And the reason is because you have this pouch to place all your belongings, whether that be remotes, cell phones, you have to bend over to grab those. but also it provides a nice handle for safely transferring up and down, on and off that bed. If I'm lying down, I can use it to pull myself to reposition. But one of our top sellers. Now, again, if you're working with an individual or you know somebody who had a fall because they rolled out of bed, you might need a longer bed rail. Those are also available. If they want something with an arm that swivels out to transfer to a power chair or a power scooter or a wheelchair, we have those too. So there's all sorts of different variations. They're all in stock down here, of course, and or they can be ordered if you have a special need for a certain one. But with working with a home style bed, there are solutions. If your bed tips and is an adjustable base bed, we now have solutions for that as well. And the great part is our products, again, have the lifetime guarantee, and our bed handles and bed rails overcome entrapment and entanglement. So the families and the individuals you care for can be safe, can be independent, and not have to worry about them getting entangled or trapped, like you've seen in the past with all these current bed rail recalls. So we have all the solutions here. Copper Star carries all the standard bed rails, and that's a perfect solution for you guys. So I think, Korry, I got all the products that we wanted to kind of touch on. We can boogie back in there. I've got just 2 more quick slides I wanted to show. You want to hit end camera on that?
Yeah, we will transfer here. Just 1 second.
Perfect. And I love those products because, it's funny to have excitement for DME, like Korry mentioned, that was Laurel mentioned earlier. Customers don't always wake up in the morning thinking, oh, I'm going to go look for some cool DME. And that might be simply because they don't know all of the unique solutions. But because there are neat and different solutions, there might be some excitement behind what we offer. Let's see here. Now, the last slide I want to share with you guys here is, this is a picture of our founder, Jan Miller. Jan Miller passed away in 2018 at a young age, in her mid-50s. Now, Jan Miller, of course, set out, she wanted to provide both products and solutions that helped individuals maintain their independence, feeling safe, and still doing the things they do and love without foregoing those to go live in a long-term care center. Now, there are a few steps that you can take. Of course, I've shared here a few on Standard's website. We have a blog that talks about, we've got a home assessment that you can take into your the homes, into facilities, and you can help provide these home safety assessments. We can disperse that if needed. Laura will work with Korry on that. But again, declutter the floors, focus on vulnerable areas, the bathroom, the living room, bedrooms, and entrances where there's thresholds. Provide proper lighting. Falls occur at night in the bathroom and the bedroom because we're getting up to go to the bathroom. As incontinence sometimes can be an issue. Have well-lit walkways in bedrooms and bathrooms. Assistive devices, reachers, scooters, lift chairs, all of those things that we mentioned today are ideal. And the last one is to keep moving. I read a great article last week, kind of in preparation for today, and it talked about the idea is that we can create independence by continually moving and utilizing the muscles and being active and getting out. And without these products and solutions, we might be limited on that. But here we have the solutions, we have the unique products that help us get out and about. And you can do that with having a peace of mind, knowing that your loved ones, the families you care for, the residents in your areas are safe, but also aren't totally reliant on somebody else for their cares. So that's products and kind of everything in a nutshell. Again, a quick little snapshot of some of our best sellers: the bed rail, security pole, living room tray tables, indoor walkers, and of course the car handle, as you can see in real time here. Any questions? I know we answered a couple of those. Any other questions from the group that didn't get answered today? I know we went through a few products there quite quickly, but want to answer any if there are.
Yes, Jason and Corey, thank you very much for all this great information. We've come a long way. And I did see that Sonia raised her hand.
I just
Sonia?
have a quick question on that pole, tension mounted pole stander.
Mhm.
If I just wondered about the safety of that tension and if it's pretty secure with how that's mounted, so that if you have a member that might tend to plop when sitting or use it to a greater degree than maybe their legs when pulling themselves up. Have you had any issues with it breaking the tension or not?
Great question. No, we haven't. As a matter of fact, it is tension mounted, and you don't have to drill it into the floor or the ceiling. Now, if a customer wants it to be hard mounted, you sure can. We pre-drill holes if they like that. But with a 300-pound weight capacity, Sonia, we haven't seen any issues with that big concern. Again, you of course needs to be installed tight and properly, but no, nothing from user error on that. It's a simple solution and very safe actually. So great question.
I've got one more question. I really love that car handle. I thought that was kind of ingenious. I'm sure you've got like all your products listed, but by any chance, you know what price range that those sell for?
Ooh, that's a great question. You want like retail? Retail is $35.
Okay. And all of these products that you shared today, are these all generally through a private purchase and not going to be reimbursed through any type of insurance program?
Yep, that is correct. You know, and to point to that point, you know, Sonia, 20 years ago, and I would even say up until the last 5, that was kind of the situation that the Miller family with Grandma Essie kept running into. And that is, although it might be provided by insurance, and there have been some things that took place like competitive bidding and reimbursement cuts that have kind of driven down the quality of so many products, and which then the quality, and then they don't last long, or they're not safe, or the suction cup, you know, grab bars aren't sure. So with that being said, to be able to provide a product that is unique, that's more futuristic than generic, yeah, it is a cash pay item. But and like I said, the individuals that we work with, not everyone. I've been in homes where that wasn't a solution, an option to be able to pay cash for an item, but it is driving the market, and a lot of retailers on the market are selling these cash items. And even if it was covered by the insurance item, they're willing to sign an ABN to forego the hassle to get an item covered. So with that being said, ours are non-covered.
And Sonia, one thing that I found quite a bit, so I work a lot with the home care agencies and caregivers here, and if you have a customer that is, or a client that's interested in some of this stuff, reach out to me and I can help, because there are a lot of them that I found that have a long-term care policy. And long-term care policy, actually, there's quite a bit of them that have a DME benefit that's baked into there. You have to kind of search for it quite a bit. But there's many times that as long as that DME is being purchased for the home, the long-term care policy actually is going to reimburse back the customer. I've helped some people that have a long-term care policy benefit up to like $15,000, where that long-term care, they're going to reimburse back the patient to help them kind of outfit their home. And I can help you with a lot of that stuff if you have somebody in need, because it's definitely it's a benefit they've already paid for in their long-term care policy, and it might not go through their traditional insurance, but their long-term may reimburse them for it. We just have to do some digging on their plan.
Sounds
And
good. Thank you
Corey-
for the information.
Mhm.
And Corey, isn't it true? You have to be a savvy consumer. There are a lot of places out there that offer products that might be similar, and they're a lot lower cost, but they may not have the weight bearing, same structure as a higher quality, and the quality of the product isn't as good. So people have to be very careful in my eyes, no
Yeah,
matter what it is.
there's a lot of those kind of random off brands. The awesome thing with obviously dealing with the supplier here in the valley, and I mean, obviously I vouch for Copper Star, right? But there's plenty of great places in the valley here that stock standard items. But if you come in, you know, the benefit with standard, like Jason mentioned many times, is it has a lifetime warranty, meaning they know that it's quality. They stand by the fact that it's quality items. And quite frankly, you know, even if a customer, and they don't always admit this, but they run over their walker with their car on accident or something like that, Standard's been amazing to work with on getting warranty replacements and stuff like that for things that happen.
Great. Do we have any other questions? Okay, it doesn't look like we do at this time. And obviously you can reach out to Korry and he can put you in touch with Jason if need be. We thank you all. The Arizona In-Home Care Association Board thanks you all for participating today. We're taking December off to focus on holidays, but we will be returning with more valuable information and education for you starting January of 2023. Although it's early, we wish you all happy holidays, safe travels with all of your family and friends and gatherings, and be safe and be well. And everyone have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it.
Thank you.